Hi there, I'm Robert Renman from dolphinstreet.com. In this video we're going to look at using chord tones when improvising over a 1-4-1 progression. Basically the progression is in the key of A here. We have first an A7 for one bar and a D7 for the second bar, and then A7 again for bar 3 and bar 4. This is what the progression sounds like. I'm using a line 6 JM4 looper pedal for this. And there it just starts looping again. So we have 4 bars. A7, D7, A7 and A7. So if we're going to use chord tones, the easiest way to do this is to have a look at playing the arpeggios for each chord. So let's look at playing the A7 arpeggio first, and then the D7 arpeggio. So we're starting here on the root note, playing the major third, the fifth, and the minor seventh. And then it starts over here again with a 1, 3, 5, 7, and again the root note here, and we have the major third up there too if you want to go all the way up there, and then back. That's for the A7, and then for the D7 we start here on the root note D, so 1, the root note, third, fifth, minor seventh, the root note again, major third, the fifth, and the minor seventh, and then back again. Now I don't recommend that you try to play all of those notes every time you improvise, so instead what we're going to look at here is let's focus on these and perhaps that note too, the minor seventh, root, 3, 5 and 7. So you see how that creates this A chord right there, and we add the 7th up there. So then when we switch to the D chord, we can just now stay at the same position on the neck and play. And you see how that almost creates like a D7 chord like that you probably know. So look at those chord notes. Just add the root note there too, and we have. Alright, so let's try this out over the loop. I'm just going to be using the arpeggios for each of the chords here as they come by. I'm just basically going to improvise how I play them, but I'm going to stick to the chord notes. 3, 4. So you can clearly hear how the notes I'm playing belong to each chord, right? Now that doesn't sound really great, so let's see what we can do for incorporating the blues scale as well with this. The blues scale in A. Now we can in fact combine the blues scale and these arpeggios together as we improvise over this progression. So the notes we have available so far if we count them all, including the blues scale, so we have quite a bit of notes there. And one cool thing here is if you go from that note and up to the fifth, we have like a chromatic move. And then we have, the reason I'm counting this note is because that's part of the D7 arpeggio. So we can use this note even when we're playing over the A7. Now there's a couple notes you should avoid depending on what chord you're playing, and especially that major third of the A7. That note will not sound very good over the D7. It will create a clash, like, ouch, not very good. So avoid that note over the D7. And as well as that E flat note. It's a cool note, but you don't want to stay on it for very long because it's more of a passing note. Now let's see what we can do by combining these two ideas, the minor blues scale and these arpeggios for each chord, and play over this progression. I'm just going to improvise based on what we had talked about so far. 3, 4. You can see how this can open up your playing a bit. Sometimes you're using the blues scale, and sometimes you use an arpeggio. The benefit with these arpeggios, you can clearly hear what chord you're playing over. You can almost hear the A7 and the D7 as I'm playing those little things there. A7 and then D7. A7. And also, I want to mention, when you're playing ideas and licks, try to end then your ideas on a chord note. So if I'm playing, see, I'm ending my phrase on the root note of A, and then on the D7. Maybe I do that, because that now is the root note, chord note for the D7, right? I can end it on that note, I can end it on that note, or on that note, because they're all those four notes are the chord notes for D7. So I'm gonna play it one more time and try and end each phrase, whatever I'm coming up with, I'm gonna end it on a chord note so you can hear how they fit with the chords. All right, here we go. This part of both the A7 and the D7. See, now I have to lower it. The major third works over the A7. But I gotta lower it there to fit with the D7. that's it for this lesson. There's a lot more to be said about this topic, and I will come back to this in future lessons. But thanks for watching, and check out more videos at dolphinstreet.com. I'm going to improvise a little bit now based on what we're talking about, so cheers.